Presented by Listen Headlines. Latest financial news from trusted sources. Updating daily noontime New York City.
Global economy.
May 16. 11:11 America, New York. Bank of England governor defends UK inflation policy. Andrew Bailey tells MPs criticism of central bank is based on hindsight.
BBC News Business.
May 16. 11:10 America, New York. Bank governor defends response to rising prices. Andrew Bailey says he could not have foreseen events such as the war in Ukraine that are driving prices higher.
BBC News Business. May 16. 11:10 America, New York. Bank governor defends response to rising prices. Andrew Bailey says he could not have foreseen events such as the war in Ukraine that are driving prices higher.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
May 16. 10:17 America, New York. Weber shares fall as barbecue brand cuts profit view again. The company now expects sales to fall due as supply chain disruptions and retail slowdowns take a toll.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
May 16. 10:05 America, New York. Macquarie signs first lease at Fifth Avenue office tower undergoing $400 million redevelopment. Big lease at 665th is the latest sign that highest price office space is outperforming in tough leasing market.
Daily FX Market News.
May 16. 10 o'clock America, New York. USD, CAD waivers at support. Canadian dollar outlook hinges on market sentiment. Despite its strong fundamentals, the Canadian dollar has weakened sharply against the US dollar since early April, but the trend could reverse if market sentiment improves.
Wall Street Journal Markets.
May 16. 9:58 America, New York. Why the world's largest company is a second-class stock. High crude prices have created a cash bonanza for oil companies, but prices over $100 a barrel are better for the state than Saudi Aramco's other investors.
Global economy. May 16. 9:40 America, New York. Central bankers should worry about the food insecurity crisis. Targeted cash and expertise are needed in the worst-hit areas, rather than sending food stocks.
Daily FX Market News.
May 16. 8:45 America, New York. Markets week ahead. Dow Jones, US dollar, oil, GBP, USD, AUD, USD. Risk assets climbed going into the weekend, but it wasn't enough to pull major US indexes into positive territory. Traders are watching the wires for further clues on inflation and the global labor.
Global economy. May 16. 8:34 America, New York. The ECB's unappreciated flexibility. The Eurozone's central bank might be like a dysfunctional family, but it generally works things out.
New York Times Business.
May 16. 8:26 America, New York. Bernanke's economic warning. The former Federal Reserve Chair warns that the U.S. could be headed for a period of 1970s-style stagflation. What me worry?
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
May 16. 8:12 America, New York. China's economic distress deepens as lockdowns drag on. China's economy descended deeper into a COVID-induced doldrums last month, raising questions about whether Beijing's planned stimulus measures can prevent a prolonged downturn.
New York Times Business.
May 16. 7:50 America, New York. After 32 years, McDonald's plans to sell its Russia business. This is a complicated issue that's without precedent and with profound consequences, said Chris Kempczinski, the chief executive of McDonald's.
Wall Street Journal Markets.
May 16. 7:32 America, New York. KKR to sell Kai overhead doors to Nucor, generating windfall for itself and employees. KKR said it would sell Kai overhead doors to steel producer Nucor for $3 billion including debt. The firm is set to make 10 times the equity it put in.
Marginal revolution.
May 16. 7:25 America, New York. Infant formula, price controls, and the misallocation of resources. I've been reluctant to write about the shortage of infant formula simply because it's so tiring to say the same thing over and over again. Obviously, this is a classic case where the FDA should allow imports of any food or baby formula approved by a stringent authority.
New York Times Business. May 16. 7:17 America, New York. JetBlue makes a hostile takeover bid for Spirit Airlines. The carrier made a tender offer valued at $3.2 billion, and said it was willing to pay more if Spirit cooperated with an acquisition. Spirit is at the center of an increasingly heated takeover battle.
BBC News Business.
May 16, 7:16 America, New York. Goldman Sachs to offer senior staff unlimited holiday. Investment bank Goldman Sachs will no longer cap paid leave for its senior staff and partners.
BBC News. Business.
May 16, 7:16 America, New York. Goldman Sachs to offer senior staff unlimited holiday. Investment bank Goldman Sachs will no longer cap paid leave for its senior staff and partners.
Daily FX Market News.
May 16, 7:10 America, New York. Gold price forecast. ZAO, USD at risk as USD and inflation soars. Gold remains susceptible on the back of higher than expected inflation data last week. The strong dollar, rising inflation and a motivated Fed pose threats to gold.
Wall Street Journal Markets.
May 16, 7 o'clock America, New York. An earnings recession looms. Economic recessions are rare, but periods in which corporate profits fall for at least 2 consecutive quarters are not. BBC News Business.
May 16, 6:41 America, New York. McDonald's to leave Russia for good after 30 years. The Ukraine war means operating in Russia is no longer consistent with McDonald's values, the firm says.
BBC News. Business.
May 16, 6:38 America, New York. Ukraine war. McDonald's to sell its restaurants in Russia. The Ukraine war means operating in Russia is no longer consistent with McDonald's values, the firm says.